let's start off with the topic of the day that I thought was kind of intriguing there, and that's should the Giants trade for Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk himself there.
Can you just please pay a super amount of money for me right now?
I've got to stop throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
And there was rumors going into the game yesterday. He did not have a good game, guys. And that's definitely not going to help his case for staying long term in Atlanta there. But here's where it all started. It actually started again before the game, even yesterday. ESPN's Dan Graziano said it remains to be seen how things turn out in Atlanta, but they haven't gone as great as the Falcons imagined they would. And Michael Penix Jr. is sitting there behind Cousins and about to turn 25 in May. Could the Falcons make Cousins available in a trade after only one season if they think Penix is ready to go? He'd be an interesting veteran pickup for a team that thinks it's close. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler says the next 6 games could determine a lot about Cousins' future. He had shown the ability to get hot, throwing for at least 3 touchdowns in 3 of his first 9 games with the Falcons before the recent 2-game slide. I expect Atlanta to have a defined plan for Cousins that maximizes the passing game coming out of the bye. But to your report, the results have been pretty good, but not optimal. So, yeah, guys, they made a big investment at that position, obviously, this offseason. Both signing the massive deal for Kirk Cousins at 36 years old, not necessarily the brightest idea to do with the major injury coming off and everything, but that's what they did. And then they doubled down on that position by drafting Michael Penix overall. Of course, if you guys watched the show, we were pretty big fans of him coming out of college there. But yeah, it's a little crazy there because you look at what he did. He had a 4-interception game yesterday, guys. First off, let me be very clear on that. 4 interceptions. That is like Daniel Jones rookie, that's what that is at that point there. That's bad. But here's his stats on the year right now. He's got a 67.4 completion percentage, 3,052 yards, 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, hold on. They just signed this guy. How could they get rid of him? The way they structured this contract, they actually saved $2.5 million against the cap. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not a lot of money. I'm not insinuating that whatsoever. But a lot of people, the first year or two in that deal, you try to get rid of them, you lose money. Look at the Jets right now with Aaron Rodgers. They're kind of stuck with him because they actually have to give up money against the cap to cut him loose. This is not the case for Kirk Cousins. They can move on this offseason and save just at least a little bit of money at that point there. Now, if he is traded, his salary next year, guys, is $27.5 million. Very palatable, I think, actually, in the
modern market
there. Yeah, that's not very much at that point there. And you can look at the fact though that he does have, as Deb says here, a full no trade clause. So, she says Cousins said he will only go to a contender, which means Giants and Raiders would be out. Now, and she says, no, I haven't been drinking, LOL, typos. But drink it up. But again, Cousins hasn't spoken to this. There's reports saying that Cousins would only go to a contender because he has a full no trade clause. Now, there's a couple of things to that, guys. First off, if you are a contender, it's been a while since we've been a contender. I forget what that's like. But if you were a contender, can you think of a single contender right now, barring any kind of major injury, that would go, you know what?
Any kind of injuries out there?
That's the missing piece. Oh, we lost Rob. That's what happened there. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is I don't see a single team that goes, you know what, Kirk Cousins is that missing piece. And I think that I look at that, go, you know what? What team, like maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they don't retain, either one of their 2 quarterbacks they got this year, maybe that's the guy they go for. I don't know, but I can't think of anybody that stands out. And I go, you know what? That's the team that's going to want Kirk Cousins this offseason. And I think maybe because of that, if that were to happen, maybe he needs to lower his expectations a little bit and understand he's a 36-year-old quarterback that still has some playing abilities, but let's be honest, was never elite. Now he's throwing up a lot of picks this year. And, you just look at that and go, maybe sit down and say, listen, these are the teams that want you. Where do you want to go? Because if you stay with us, you're sitting on the bench. And you don't say it in a jerk way, but you just call out reality. And if you call out reality, sometimes people see it. Sometimes they don't. It's 50-50. But, calling out that reality might make him change his mind and understand that if he can be a bridge quarterback or, 1 or 2 year starter somewhere, that's better than him riding the pine there over in Atlanta. So, it's a matter of that. But I'm just not sure that's the guy I'd want necessarily, to be honest with you guys. Unless it is the scenario like we talked about that we're going to deal with here as a stopgap, veteran quarterback to be someone who kind of mentor a rookie, whether it be Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or who knows who else at that point there at this point. But, I just don't know if he's going to be fully open to that because I don't know him personally. I don't know his personality. And if he wants to go in contender and no contender wants him, can he see past that and say, you know what, this is the best scenario for me to maybe try to latch onto one next year. Show I can do something here in New York. They got Malik Neighbors, the best rookie wide receiver in all of football there. They got Tyrone Tracy Jr., the best rookie running back there to go along with that, and maybe a new coaching staff. Who knows? We'll see that. And maybe that's something that he looks at and goes, you know what? Maybe this isn't such a bad spot. Maybe I can rebuild here, and try to go maybe to a contender the next year after that. Hard to say because Father Time's clicking for him, He's 36 years old again. So you make 37 next year. If he goes here, does 1 year, 38. Now you go, okay, 38 years old. What's left of Kirk Cousins? He's not stupid, guys. He knows he probably only has a couple years left, if that. That's why he took the money in Atlanta, because he knows it's probably his last big contract he ever signs. So we'll see what happens there. But like I said, interesting potential option there if we want to bring in a veteran quarterback that can start for 1 year if need be. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not a big fan of throwing a guy out to the wolves. I like the idea of letting a rookie sit, letting him learn, and letting him kind of get used to the offense, get to build up his confidence, get used to life in the NFL in general. And like I said, history shows that's typically the best way to do it with a rookie quarterback, at least for part of the year, maybe half the year, like we did with Eli at that point when Kurt Warner was there. So, like I said, we'll have to see what happens there. A lot of potentials here for this offseason with the New York Giants at the quarterback options there.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.